Jamal Crawford is one of the most exciting players the NBA has ever seen. His ball handling skills were something to behold, using killer crossovers, hesitations, changes of speed, and his signature shake and bake move to absolutely destroy defenders and put them on highlight reels. At times, he seemed to be unstoppable on the court, hitting tough shot after tough shot, and when he got hot, there was absolutely nothing you could do to stop him, evidenced by his 4 50-point performances to his name. In the first half of his career, Crawford worked his way into the starting lineup, and eventually moved to the role of a sixth man in the latter half of his career, and this is where he made a name for himself, winning 3 Sixth Man of the Year awards. However, fast forward to the present, and even after dropping 51 points in what is now his final appearance with the Phoenix Suns, Jamal has been unable to find a team to sign with despite very strong intentions to continue his NBA career. How did this happen? Let's talk about it. To begin this video, I'd like to talk about Jamal Crawford's playstyle. Listed at 6'5", 185 pounds, but probably lighter, Crawford plays the point guard and shooting guard positions. Primarily a shoot-first guard, Crawford has made a career off of scoring the ball and hitting tough shots off the dribble, using a variety of dribble moves to create openings for himself. Jamal is also exceptional off the pick and roll, using a variety of change of speed moves to run defenders into the screen and get himself an open shot. During his prime, his pull-up jumper was lethal, capable of pulling up way beyond the 3-point line, and this led to numerous 4-point plays in his career. In fact, he has 55 of them during the regular season, which is the most in NBA history. Aside from his scoring prowess, I believe that Jamal is a very underrated playmaker. He's averaged 3.4 assists per game in his career, peaking at 5.1 per game in the 2003-04 season. He's averaged more than 4 assists 6 times during his 20-year career. And to round out his all-around offensive game, Crawford has shown the ability to hit free throws with an average of 86.2 on his career, and leading the league in free throw shooting in the 2011-12 season. However, as exciting as Crawford was, his offensive game still has a lot of downsides. First off, his shot selection at times has been absolutely horrible. There have been possessions where he would attempt to go one-on-one with his matchup, and when unable to shake them, he would take a tough contested jumper. And while he has made these type of jumpers during his career, more times than not, he's missed. This just stagnates the offense and kills any type of ball movement or momentum his team may have had. And while on the topic of bad shot selection, his field goal percentage throughout his career has never been high, mainly due to this fact. Throughout his career, he has consistently shot below the league average, shooting just 41%. Since the 2012-13 season, his true shooting percentage has also been consistently declining, with the slightest uptick in the 2018-19 season. Jamal has been so inefficient that there have been 6 instances in his career where he's failed to even hit 40% of his shots and has only shot above 43% 3 times in his career. Moving on to his 3-point shooting, Jamal has had seasons where he was an above average 3-point shooter, 10 seasons above 35%, but just as many seasons below 35%, which has led to his career average of 34.8%, which isn't horrible by any means. It's serviceable and around the league average, but Crawford has just shot 33% from 3 over the past 2 seasons, and put this along with his 40.2% field goal percentage overall, and Crawford is even more inefficient than he normally is. However, inefficiency is not the biggest hole in his game. The biggest flaw, and the biggest reason why I believe he isn't in the league anymore, is because of his defense. Looking especially close at his last 2 seasons, Crawford has been horrible, to say the least. During the 2017-18 season, opponents would shoot 49.8% from the field when Crawford was the primary defender on them. This is 5.7 above the league average of 44.1% that year. Then, in the 2018-19 season with the Phoenix Suns, he wasn't much better. In fact, opponents shot 49.8% again when Crawford was the primary defender, against the league average of 43.9%. Need more evidence on his bad defense? Well, let's look at Crawford's defensive real plus minus, a stat that measures on-court impact on teams' defensive performance, measured in points allowed per 100 defensive possessions. When looking at the 2017-18 season, Crawford ranked dead last out of 521 players in this stat by a significant margin with a score of -5.37. Troy Daniels was second to last with a score of -4.55. During the 2018-19 season, Crawford ranked 510th out of 514 players in this stat with a score of -3.93. Jordan Clarkson, Kevin Knox, Colin Sexton, and Trae Young were the only players worse than him last season. Career-wise, Crawford hasn't fared well either. Not once in his career has he been on the positive end of the defensive box plus minus stat. In terms of defensive win shares, Crawford has never eclipsed 2.1, with 9 of his seasons having less than a total of 1 defensive win share. Moving past the advanced stats, when you watch Crawford's game, it's easy to see that defense isn't really his fortitude. When looking at just the eye test compared to other NBA guards, it's clear that Crawford would be a below average defender, lacking the physical strength and frame to go against the league's shooting guards and big men when it comes to switching off the pick and roll. In my opinion, Crawford just doesn't put enough effort on this end of the court, whether it be fighting over screens or stopping the man with the ball on the fast break. The fact of the matter is that even at his best, Jamal was a below average defender, and at his worst, which is the past 2 seasons in the league, he was an absolute defensive liability. How he was able to still get minutes with a defensive-minded coach like Tom Thibodeau during his season with the Timberwolves is beyond me. Honestly, with all that being said, I feel that Jamal should just retire. He's 40 years old and he went out with a bang with 51 points in his final game. He doesn't seem like a guy who would go ring chase. He has more respect for himself than that. He seems like a guy who just wants to play basketball, and he could do that in a pickup setting where his game would absolutely flourish. Thank you very much for watching the video, and comment down below if you think Jamal should still be in the league or if he should retire. Hit the like button and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when I upload each time. Thank you very much for watching again, and as always, have a good day or night wherever you are.